Long ago, in an era before the world was changed, a powerful kingdom emerged in the realm of football. Led by a young, gifted warrior, Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs sought only one thing: greatness. Unlike their rivals who were weighed down by greed, the Chiefs played with a purity that made them an unstoppable force. Their inaugural championship battle came against the 49ers, warriors clad in red and gold but starved of true riches. With swift strikes and unshakable resolve, the Chiefs claimed victory, marking the beginning of a dynasty. But as time passed, the world grew darker. A great plague swept across the land, COVID, and in the shadows, unseen forces took notice of the Chiefs' power. After falling to the mighty Buccaneers led by the greatest general the NFL had ever seen, a mysterious and alluring presence in the form of a siren wove itself into their kingdom, and whispers of influence spread through the halls. The forces of corporate greed, drawn to the Chiefs' rising fame, sought to guide their destiny for their own gain. From the depths of the game's core, unseen hands worked to shape the battlefield. Phantom forces in striped robes appeared, subtly altering the course of battles. The Chiefs, now riding in the tides of both skill and fortune, became something more than a team. They became a force feared and loathed by all. Yet where power grows, so too does resistance. The domain of the Eagles, proud and mighty, saw the shift in balance and knew they must rise to meet the challenge. Their first battle against the Chiefs was fierce, yet it only fueled their rival's strength. Determined, the Eagles retreated, preparing in the shadows for an entire year as the Chiefs continued to accumulate trophies. They acquired new weapons from the Giants, strengthened their warriors, and when the time was right, they struck. The Chiefs, now burdened by the weight of expectation and unseen alliances, faced an adversary reborn. The Eagles' charge, led by a fearsome defensive front and relentless ground game, proved overwhelming. Mahomes, once untouchable, was engulfed by the storm that yielded no openings and forbade any attempt at crucial conversions. And so the cycle of power turned once more. The Chiefs' reign met its greatest challenge, and in the end the game was restored to its purest form by the Eagles. The forces that had once sought to control the narrative faded into the background, at least for now. For in the game of football, as in all great legends, the battle for true greatness never truly ends. No, we are not going to talk about Ye Who Shall Not Be Named, but he probably would have put on a better halftime performance than Kendrick. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hoagies and Pierogis is available on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok for clips throughout the week. Let's cover football first today, then we'll go over new team debuts in the NBA after the trade deadline, and then we'll finish it off with some baseball with spring training right around the corner. This is episode 140 of Hoagies and Pierogis. Let's get into it.
Live from central Pennsylvania with your host Ian DiCarlo, this is Hoagies and Pierogis.
The Ski Stash! The Ski Stash! Welcome to the Big Ten. Beacher's going drink, man. Let's go!
I'm pretty sure this is the first week without any college football news since before September, so let's get right into the NFL honors. Belichick showed up and he made his presence known. Whoo, damn! What was shinier, his girlfriend's dress or the Super Bowl rings? You tell me. The honors was hosted by Snoop Dogg, and he made a couple good zingers here. Jane is so chill, weed smokes him to relax. He asked Joe Burrow to hit whatever he's smoking. And then he said, back when the Chiefs sucked, wait, Belichick's girlfriend wasn't even born yet. But he made an Eagles versus the refs joke alluding to the Super Bowl, and he just got odd looks. I don't think a single person in that room laughed at all or made any kind of noise other than hearing him bomb was pretty funny. And actually, in between awards, he came out in a Steelers uniform, and he was a stick. He looked insanely skinny, like unhealthily skinny. But then Jelly Roll came out the complete opposite in a Titans uniform, and it was the largest man I think I've ever seen in a football uniform. All right, so honestly, there were really no surprises here. Jaden Daniels won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Jared Verse won Defensive Rookie of the Year. Pat Surtain won Defensive Player of the Year. Saquon won Offensive Player of the Year. All right, and then for this one, I'm kind of sad that my bet didn't hit. I had J.K. Dobbins winning Comeback Player of the Year, but Joe Burrow won the award. People said that votes for Sam Darnold would count, but Darnold ended up getting third because he didn't come back from an actual injury. Dobbins got second. Sam Darnold will never win anything if he did not win this award. All right, and then for MVP, Josh Allen took it home. He won with 27 first place votes to Lamar's 23. I really don't think it makes any sense to give Lamar first team All-Pro over Allen, but then give him second place in the MVP voting. That really doesn't make any sense to me. It's the same exact voters. Oh, but Lamar already has two. Just give it to Allen. This is probably the dumbest thing that can come out of someone's mouth. Yeah, Lamar deserved it, but he already has two. This isn't a participation trophy. Like, I don't care how many times someone has already won in the past. If you were the best player in the league, you deserve the award. I don't care if you won it 10 times in a row beforehand. And I've been saying it all season, but the stat head comparison, actually seeing it on paper, is hilarious. Josh Allen is only ahead in team record, which isn't even his own individual stat, and rushing touchdowns. Come on. Congratulations to Allen. If the Bills are going to win anything, at least you have the best quarterback in the league, I guess. All right, some notes here before the game started. I actually found out on Saturday because I didn't realize that the game was on Fox. I realized that Brady would be calling his first Super Bowl in his awful rookie year of announcing. They should have let Greg Olsen handle this one, I think. We also found out that Trump was the first ever sitting president to attend the Super Bowl, which is honestly insane. Out of 59 Super Bowls, he's the first one. All right, a little bit more on Belichick and his girlfriend. They were photographed leaving a hotel in New Orleans with his girlfriend wearing a Falcons shirt. Now, this isn't just any regular Falcons shirt. This is one of the shirts that they sent to Africa that says the Falcons won the Super Bowl. This is hilarious, if intentional, because Belichick fucked the Falcons. Nikki Glazer actually got a picture with Bill's girlfriend during the Super Bowl, and I would have loved to hear some of the jokes that she said. You know she had some in the chamber. All right, then next up we had the third iteration of the Kick of Destiny. Gronk didn't make it the first two times, and I chose Peyton to make it, and he didn't make it in the two attempts that he had. Eli is 2-0 against Peyton this postseason. That's sad. Neither made it from 25 yards, and we're not particularly close, but from 20 yards, Peyton doinked it, and Eli sent it straight down the middle. You know what? I'm just not going to do the Kick of Destiny next year. How about that? And speaking of bets, my buddy showed us his bets before the game, and he had $500 on the Eagles first half money line, and then $1,500 on the Eagles money line straight up. Holy shit, good for him. I am super happy for him, 100%, because if he would have lost that, I don't know if we would have saw him the next day. All right, this was the fourth quarterback rematch in the Super Bowl. The quarterback that won the first game won the previous 3 times. Let's break down how it went. Okay, first quarter. What the hell are we doing here? The score bug is straight out of Fortnite. That is Fortnite font. Do not tell me otherwise. What the fuck was that? That looked horrible. I love graphic design ass kind of score bug. Jesus Christ, that was bad. Oh, and the bullshit was already starting on the Eagles' first drive. It was 4th and 2. A.J. Brown gets a great pass down the field, but got called for offensive pass interference on a slight shove to the defender's face mask. I think they would have let that go in any other regular season game. That was questionable at best, but it was straight to his face mask, so maybe I could see it a little bit looking back on it now. So they punted. The Chiefs actually got a first down on a Juju catch, and I was like, oh no, don't tell me. Juju's going to have 200 yards against the Eagles. I know they're going to pull some bullshit like that. But that's all, and they punted it right back to him. The Eagles actually got a makeup call on a pass that was way over Goddard's head, and it was actually unnecessary roughness on the defender after he kind of just pushed into Goddard. He didn't even really hit him that hard. Goddard didn't fall over even. But then Jahan Dotson almost got them in. I had the parlay of Saquon Barkley touchdown, anytime touchdown, and Jahan Dotson anytime touchdown. He was so close, but it wouldn't have mattered since Saquon didn't score a touchdown, and he really did not get things going the whole game. They pushed it to finish it off. The Eagles were up 7-0. The Chiefs got the ball back before the end of the first quarter,
But then on 4th and 3, they decided to punt. I thought that was foreshadowing. It looked like they were giving up pretty early. Eagles defensive line doing a great job. All right, here in the second quarter, things looked kind of bad. The Eagles were driving, but then Hurts threw it short under pressure for the interception. The Chiefs took control of it inside the 5-yard line. But then again, Chiefs couldn't do anything. The Eagles forced the 3 and out, and they were doing a great job of getting to Mahomes. But the Chiefs are also doing a really good job of stopping Saquon and flushing Hurts out of the pocket, forcing him to make kind of weird throws when he didn't really need to. Instead of going for it, the Eagles elected for the 43-yard field goal, but had a false start to make it a 48-yarder. Luckily for them, Elliott nailed it and it made it 10-0 Eagles with 8:30 left in the first half. And after that, it's when it all started to unravel. After back-to-back sacks and a pick six on 3 consecutive plays, the Eagles were up 17-0. And who else besides Cooper DeJean on the pick six on his birthday? He is the second player to score a touchdown on his birthday in a title game, not a Super Bowl, in a title game, since Martin Van Buren in 1947. So he's the first player ever to score a touchdown on his birthday in the Super Bowl. And on the next drive, Eagles again with a 3 and out and a sack on 3rd down to force the Chiefs to punt for a 4th time already in the game. 14 total yards from the Chiefs. The Eagles finally had to punt for the 2nd time, but they pinned the Chiefs all the way back at the 9-yard line. And on the very first play of the next drive, Mahomes threw his 2nd interception of the game. Holy shit. There was 1:45 left in the half, and the Eagles got it at the Chiefs' 14-yard line. 2 plays and 10 seconds later, A.J. Brown crosser for the touchdown. 24-0 Eagles, and they were running away with it. It was ugly. With a chance to do something before halftime, Hopkins was wide open on 3rd and 11, but he just decided to drop the ball. Washed. The Chiefs had 23 total yards in the first half, and that was punt number 5 for them. All right, well, there had to be some controversy in the game, so let's go ahead to halftime, shall we? Okay, so I watched it the next day, and as a YouTube video, it was an awesome performance outside of the context of a Super Bowl, and I absorbed a lot more of it by doing that. I couldn't drink during the game, so it wasn't like I wasn't paying attention, but it was just a little bit harder to follow live. Everyone was executing their moves and timing, and Kendrick did a great job of not running out of breath, running around the stage himself, doing all that crazy stuff. On these lyric-heavy songs, lyric-intense songs, the showmanship and performance were top-notch outside of the context of the Super Bowl. Let's preface this with that. My initial reaction, that was not good. For a Super Bowl performance, that was not good. In my opinion, that was not good. I'm a Kendrick fan. There is evidence on this podcast in the past, but it was pretty boring live on TV until SZA came out and did her 2 songs, and the crowd got a little bit more into it. The trolling of Drake in several ways during Not Like Us was hilarious. Like Kendrick teasing the song before playing it, saying, "We know they like to sue," him smiling at the camera when he said Drake, which I really did not think that he would mention him by name. The whole crowd screaming A minor, Serena crip walking. Come on, that was A-level trolling, S-tier level trolling, in fact. But here's where I think people are a little bit out of touch. Over half the audience didn't get the joke. Out of the estimated 126 million people in the U.S. who watched the Super Bowl, how many of those people do you think are Kendrick fans? Yes, Not Like Us has over 1 billion streams globally on Spotify. That doesn't mean 1 billion people know the song. How many times did you stream it? Personally, I streamed it over 10 times. Divide 1 billion by 10 and you got 100 million people. So out of those 100 million people globally, how many of those people comprise the 126 million that watched the Super Bowl in the U.S.? My guess would be a pretty slim margin. Maybe like 25 million if we're being generous, who are both fans of Kendrick and the NFL. That's only about 20% of the audience that knows Not Like Us. Now, how many of those people know any other Kendrick song? To be clear, I did find it funny. I did get it, but it's essentially an inside joke that blew up. And a 9-month-old one at that. I think my real gripe with it is that the song selection stunk.
Honestly, it just felt like a promotion for his new album more than anything.
Play the classics. That's what a Super Bowl is for. I wasn't expecting anything from Section 80, but there was nothing from Good Kid Mad City. There was nothing from To Pimp a Butterfly. There was nothing from Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't want to have to read a dissertation or watch a 40-minute breakdown video on YouTube to enjoy it. Like, cool, it mirrored how slaves were treated when they came overseas, and then they broke free of the chains, and then they all accused a Canadian black guy of being a pedophile. Like, we get it. The stage was a controller, and they were all inside a game being controlled by the government, and Kendrick put the GTA cheat code in for infinite ammo and armor. The cheat code thing is so played out. Like, up, down, left, right, BA, start. Like, we get it. And I actually found the product that the stage was modeled after. The Shapes of Play Battle product on the PlayStation Store. And I think it's bullshit that if you say it was bad, you're categorized as a middle-aged man whose profile picture is a selfie wearing sunglasses sitting in the front seat of their truck. And it kind of framed it that way during the performance with Samuel L. Jackson saying, "No, that's too ghetto, stop." No one knew most of the songs. That's why I personally didn't like it. It's okay to not like something. The last 5 Super Bowls were Usher, Rihanna, Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, and Kendrick, again, The Weeknd, and J-Lo and Shakira. All were great Super Bowl halftime shows. It has nothing to do with race whatsoever. I will forever be a Kendrick fan, and in my opinion, this wasn't great as a Super Bowl halftime show. In particular, the real problem, I think, was there was nothing I could really sing along to without looking like the whitest moron ever in front of my parents. Yeah, I'm out the way, I'm low, okay, the other right here's remote, okay, I ain't think about no Reaper, I'm Reaper, what I saw, okay, got a Benjamin and a Jackson all in my house. I'm just not gonna do it. Okay, third quarter, Chiefs came out and they killed, like, pretty much any chance that they had of trying to make a comeback. The Eagles got 2 more sacks on the next drive, and they forced the Chiefs to punt again for the 6th time. Still 24-0. On the next drive, Philly got field goal number 2 to go up 27-0. Saquon got a little bit more something going on that drive. Then the Chiefs turned it over on downs with 3:15 left in the third quarter, and then there was a deep ball to Devontae Smith that put the Eagles up 34-0. So before the third quarter ended, the Chiefs actually got on the board here with a great catch by Xavier Worthy coming back to the ball. But they missed the 2-point conversion. It was 34-6 with 34 seconds left in the third quarter. And here's where the kicking rule is stupid. The Chiefs couldn't do an onside kick because it was still the third quarter. You can only do an onside kick in the fourth quarter. That is so stupid. That is really dumb. And it's for moments specifically like this. If the Chiefs would have got that onside kick and would have scored like right away at the start of the fourth quarter, that would have been so much more exciting. Get rid of that only during the fourth quarter bullshit. All right, so on to the fourth quarter. The Eagles got field goal number 3 to go up 37-6 with just under 10 minutes left. It was funny here. Brady said that he was surprised the cameras found Kevin Hart. And then he was like, "Kevin, I have to get back at you any way I can after the roast." But much like the Kendrick Drake beef, that was 9 months ago. It's time to let it go. Babies that were conceived during those roasts are now almost born. All right, on the next drive, and just to add insult to injury, Mahomes got smacked in the face and the Eagles recovered the fumble. You love to see it. There was 0 penalty for straight up hands pushing the helmet into Patrick Mahomes' face. It was glorious to see. The refs really wanted to make sure to let you know that they were not being paid by the Chiefs whatsoever. The Eagles' false start again for the 3rd time on a field goal try, but Automatic Elliott got it through on from 50 yards for field goal number 4. They were up 40-6. On the next drive, Hopkins kind of made up for his drop on 3rd and 11 with a touchdown for his first ever Super Bowl touchdown. Chiefs get the 2-point conversion to make it 40-14. And on the next drive, they were letting Kenny Pickett hand the ball off to Kenny Gainwell. It was that bad, yes. 40-22 does not do the score justice, just to see like how much the Eagles embarrassed the Chiefs. But yeah, 22, because on the next play, after the Chiefs got the ball back, there was a 50-yard bomb to Worthy with a 2-point conversion to make it 40-22 with 1:48 left. Maybe put Hurts back in? But the Eagles got the onside kick, and they kneeled out the ball. It would have admittedly been pretty cool to see the Chiefs get another onside kick, get another touchdown real quick, and then make it a little bit closer than it should have been. But congratulations to the Eagles. Jalen Hurts is your MVP. He was 17 for 22 for 221 yards, 2 touchdowns with an interception, but then he also added on 72 yards rushing, and 1 rushing touchdown as well. He was more than deserving, and it was one of the best games that he's had this season. Like I said, the Chiefs were flushing him out of the pocket, and he was making some off-balance throws, but he was making almost all of them. He was highly accurate when it mattered. The times he threw it short, the INT, were all caused by pressure, not just putting pressure on himself. Calm, cool, and collected. A.J. Brown was getting a little testy, but then scored a touchdown on the next drive to settle him down. Eagles defense, oh my God, they came in with a game plan and exposed the Chiefs for the team that they really were all season. In addition to the Eagles wrecking the line and smothering the secondary, when the Chiefs wide receivers were open, they were just dropping the ball themselves. My mom even noticed it. She was like, man, the Chiefs are really just hurting themselves, aren't they? And I was like, actually, yeah, they are. Jesus. 23 total yards in the first half is dirty work from the Eagles. That's disgusting. And it wouldn't be New Orleans if someone didn't bring a voodoo doll of Mahomes. That's the real reason the Chiefs lost. This is the biggest blowout in the big game since Brady and the Bucs beat Mahomes and the Chiefs 31-9, and the most points scored since the last time the Eagles won, 41-33 over Brady and the Pats. Mahomes has now been blown out in his 2 Super Bowl losses, and all of Brady's losses were one-score games. He would never. Mahomes is literally the LeBron, and Brady is the Jordan in this scenario. Brady 7-3 in championship games, Mahomes 3-2. And actually, Theo Ash did bring up a good point that Brady was also 3-2 in his first 5 as well. But Brady's stat line in those games is insane. Mahomes is admittedly no slouch, but he doesn't have Brady numbers in his appearances. I feel really good for Saquon. Being a Giants fan must stink. Imagine you letting your star player leave in free agency and then he wins a Super Bowl with his new team the next year. Oh, shit, Tom Brady. But speaking of players that have great resumes, Devontae Smith is now the 5th player to win the Heisman, a national championship, and a Super Bowl, joining Reggie Bush, Tony Dorsett, Marcus Allen, and Charles Woodson. The scenes from after the game were awesome. The team all raising up to touch the trophy was cool, but the picture of Hurts sitting in the hallway with the trophy smoking a cigar will go down in history with some of the all-time great shots of players after winning it all. That is how you do it, Jason Tatum. Don't be a cornball and copy someone else. All right, we got a video of RJ breaking open some champagne.
Okay, I'm going that way.
We also got a video from my sister who's in Westchester, which is a little bit outside of the city. And even there, the streets were full of people. In another video, fans were burning a Kermit puppet and then also stealing light poles. fuck climbing them, we're taking them. Piles of white towels, sheets, and pillowcases for hotels were being burned downtown in the middle of the street after people took them out of a parked truck that was transporting them. But really, that was about the extent of the damage. I didn't see any flipped cars or burning buildings. The Philadelphians did a pretty good job of keeping it in check this year. If burning rags and taking down a light pole are the extent of it, then I'm totally fine with that. So the next day, we found out that the Eagles players, at least some of them, don't have any reading comprehension whatsoever. They used the news that the Chiefs were trying to patent the term three-peat as motivation. But in actuality, it was Pat Riley who has the patent on a bunch of different spellings of three-peat, and the Chiefs had to get permission to use it. So I'm glad that they're dumb and found some extra motivation. All right, but then also today, Tuesday, it was official. The Saints hired Kellen Moore to be their next head coach. Brandon Staley is the leading candidate for DC, and it is hilarious that he'll go from Moore's boss to Moore's assistant if this happens. All right, we were 6-7 on postseason picks this year, but at least we got the one that counts. That was probably a boring Super Bowl for most people, but being around so many Eagles fans and hating the Chiefs as much as we do, it was a pretty good Super Bowl. All right, I think that's it for football. Let's move on to the NBA. I'm talking about the NBA a little bit more. Okay, so, of course, right after I started exporting the video last Wednesday, Jimmy Butler changed his mind, and he signed for 2 years, $121 million. He'll be making $60.5 million next year. Basketball money is absurd. I mean, now for half the price, you could have signed a real boxer to come in and fight Draymond. And this is nothing short of comedy gold. Like, I could not have written something funnier. The player coming to Miami in the trade from Golden State was Dennis Schrader, the player who just compared the trade deadline to modern day slavery. Holy shit. And not even a day later, he was traded to Utah. He didn't even get to go to South Beach. That is crazy. Complaining about the trade deadline and then going from Golden State to Utah. That blows. Okay, so the player that we didn't talk about at all last week in the Luka trade, AD made his Mavs debut last Saturday. And he gave him an impressive 2 quarters and some change, putting up 26 points and 16 rebounds. But then he left with a left adductor strain, and he'll be out multiple weeks. Why were the Mavericks not worried about glass bones AD? You can change fat, not brittle bones. And now a bunch of other players are injured after Luka left. It's almost like firing your strength and conditioning coaches and trainers because of one player was a horrible idea and detrimental to the whole team. I think it's past time Nico Harrison is fired. I'm actually really surprised he's not gone by now. So, and then on Saturday as well, Luka was supposed to make his Lakers debut, and I was fully intending on watching it. But then he was scratched from the lineup not because of any setbacks or anything, just for precaution. And he was scheduled to play on Monday night in the game at 10:30. Come on. Luckily, I recorded it and I had enough time to watch it earlier today at work. So Lucas started with 7 straight minutes in the first quarter and had 5 points, a rebound, and an assist. He looked a little slow to start, but to be fair, I really don't know what he looks like normally, and he's coming off an injury. But yeah, he looked a little hesitant. The face that he was putting on kind of made it seem like he wasn't too confident. But then he made a sharp step back three, and he was okay after that, I think. All right, Luka came back on with 7 minutes, 30 seconds left in the second and ended the half with 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists in 15 minutes. You could tell he was getting some confidence back after that pass across the court to LeBron. That was a great pass. The Lakers were up big at the half, 72-47. Luka then played only about 9 minutes in the third quarter, and they were up big, so he was just lobbing up shots to try to shake off some rust. He finished with 14 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds in 24 total minutes. He got to sit out the fourth quarter since the Lakers were up 100-75 after 3 quarters. They ended up winning 132-113 against the Jazz. So yeah, decent start, but you could tell that he was starting out slow and needs to shake off some rust. I'm sure that once he gets into the groove of things, being on this Lakers team is just going to make Luka even better than he was with the Mavs. Like, just listening to the announcers talk about how much less work he's going to have to do, I don't know if that's going to be great for him, since they want him to, be motivated and do more work to, not get super fat. Which he did look a little bit chunky, let's be honest. But I think he'll be fine. I think he'll thrive in this Lakers offense. The last thing that I wanted to mention that was even basketball related, Michael Jordan's son, Marcus Jordan, was arrested for DUI, and there's video on the Explore With Us body cam channel on YouTube. So officers found him stuck on railroad tracks in his Lambo with coke on him. Not a great look. And the whole time he was in the back of the cop car, he was like, "Do you know who I am? Man, this is racist." Like, dude, you went through someone's yard to get onto train tracks. What are you doing? All right, that's it for basketball. I don't know if we'll come back to basketball next week, but we'll check in because the All-Star break is coming up here soon. We'll definitely go over the dunk contest. All right, on to MLB. And yes, NBA money is crazy, but paying Pete Alonso $54 million over 2 years might make you certifiably insane. $27 fucking million per year. Holy shit, he better be hitting 50 home runs a year behind Soto from now on. No wonder no one else wanted him. That is way too much money for an aging first baseman. Holy shit. We've been picking on the Blue Jays a lot lately, but if they would have paid him more than the Mets to pry him away, then they really would have just been burning cash to burn cash. That is a ridiculous amount of money for Pete Alonso. Holy shit. They better hope he has an Aaron Judge-like season next year. That's crazy. Okay, the Pirates signed Tommy Pham as their fix for right field, and it might be a year late, but it's a good clubhouse addition in my opinion. But he is declining both offensively and defensively. Now, Tommy Pham is a name that I mentioned last year that I wanted them to acquire at the trade deadline. So I am not mad at this move, but when it's your solution to right field and he's terrible on defense, I don't know how much of an upgrade this really is. I don't know. I wish the Pirates would spend more than $10 million on free agents, and maybe on quality free agents. That might be nice. Just wasting Skeens, wasting Jared Jones. You're wasting Mitch Keller at this point, wasting Bubba Chandler, and he's not even in the major leagues. Pirates, you need to do something. I'm going to say that so many fucking times this year. All right, first uniform news that we have. The Orioles will go back to the glory days and have an all-orange throwback. Oh, man, you love to see it. I hope the Pirates come out with an all-yellow throwback. That would be nice. But yes, pitchers and catchers report by the time this episode is out on Thursday, and full squad workouts start on Monday. It's time for baseball, baby. Let's go. All right, last little bits here. Antonio Brown, our favorite person, Antonio Brown, was on Theo Vaughn's podcast, and it is 2 hours of gold. pure gold. Here's a couple quotes out of context. They call me Golden Diva, Good Dick, Mr. Catch 'em All. And along those same lines, you know I got a baby mama collection. I feel like a cow or a dog. These bitches want to milk me like a cow. White people put their kids on birth control at 16. They already got a chip in them that's blocking it. Exactly, it was a cunt pussy. They think black people is like the new vagina, like the designer vagina. Like what happened to Kobe Bryant. I ain't never seen no one, another plane going down. Bro, I'm having wet dreams, there's cum all over my fucking self. It was a rock star guy who just copied every black guy song, big famous guy. Are you talking about Elvis? Elvis! Elvis was fucking girls that was 13. How you think R. Kelly got the artistic to know what a rock star is? Imagine how many times I hit the ground. I played football since I was 6 years old till like 31. Like 27 years. And that wasn't even halfway through the podcast. That's only like 41 minutes in. I thought to myself at that point, it would be hilarious to see a conversation between Ye Who Shall Not Be Named and AB. Then, about an hour and 15 minutes in, AB mentions Ye Who Shall Not Be Named and says he's never crashed out. That definitely aged well. This came out on Saturday, but it was definitely recorded before Friday morning when he had that crash out on Twitter. This was definitely worth a listen. TV was matching AB's energy and channeling the funny. Also in podcasts that aren't mine news, I've been catching up on History Hyenas with Chris DiStefano and Giannis Pappas since they've come back. And for those that don't know, they read all of the Patreon names at the end of the episode. They add names that they like to the list, as they call it, and they pick their favorite from that list. The list is very exclusive. They finally got to my name on the Matt Rife episode, which was bad. Check it out.
Then we got Ian Burns when I'm peeing. I think I made a oh no DeCarlo. Put him on the list. Wow, yeah, we got a lot of lists. List heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I think that's it. Let's check Twitter here, make sure there's nothing that happened while we were recording. Oh, really nothing besides Clayton Kershaw's back for another year. I don't know what he can really do besides teach the pitchers how to shotgun a beer now. Okay, and I believe that's it for this week. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hoagies and Pierogis is available on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok for clips throughout the week, and we'll leave you with this. Munch, punch, 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 punch.
I'm a choker. I'm a trash can. Jalen Hurts absolutely destroyed me tonight. And the Eagles O-line pounded me raw. My cheeks are sore from all the pounding I took tonight. They didn't even use any protection. The Eagles O-line needs to practice safe sacks. You know, you can't just pound me raw all night. And the refs did not get the memo over the week. They usually help me out a lot, but tonight I finally got exposed. Even my best friend Zebras couldn't save me from this demolition. And I saw Tom Brady in the booth tonight and told him I was about to take his GOAT title away. But that dude brought me bad luck, man. He put some voodoo on me tonight. Now I can never be mentioned as the GOAT after this embarrassing performance. And Travis Kelce was too worried about fixing his hair the whole game, trying to look cute for Taylor Swift. He went ghost when I needed him most. And I'm going to announce a ban tonight. Taylor Swift can no longer attend my games. This girl just brings my aura points down. So, Travis, take her wherever you want, but just don't bring her to my games. She can't be stealing my spotlight. And Andy Reid, you're a great coach, but I think it's time for you to hang them up after tonight. He came out with a horrible game plan, and I couldn't even breathe out there. I have a conspiracy theory that he was trying to make me look bad out there tonight. I'm lucky I didn't get injured. Our O-line is absolute garbage.
Live from Central Pennsylvania with your host Ian DiCarlo, this is Hoagies and Pierogis.
The Ski Stash! The Ski Stash! Welcome to the Big Ten. Beijers go drink, mate. Let's go!